everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with a very exciting video for me, hopefully for you guys too, and that is my flip through for another traveling book. This one is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Everybody was able to fly through it. Get it back to me. I read this in like a day and a half. This was not my favorite book of life. In fact, this was a 2-star read that I found really problematic and disturbing, and I don't really understand the hype around it, to be quite honest. This book went out to Nicole and Juana and Jackie and Victoria. Really hoping I'm saying your guys' name right. I'm so excited that I got to read these with the ladies, and that a lot of their thoughts were mirrored in my own. So I believe that the ratings for this were 3 stars, 3.5 stars, 3 star, 3 star. And then they did in the back also put little thoughts about their rating and the book itself, but I wanted to just give you my thoughts because I didn't write my rating in here. I gave this book 2 stars because I was really disturbed by the message it was sending. Now, this is an older book. I believe this was written in 2008, 2009, but I still just don't excuse some of the things that were being said in this. There was the use of the word retard. I'm not okay with that. There was also the use of gay as a slur. Now that was corrected by another character in the book and set straight about why that's not an okay thing to do. And maybe in 2009 that was an important conversation to be having, and it's still an important conversation to be having. I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me, especially when coupled with the message that this book sent, which was essentially that your life gets better and things turn around for you and things get easier when you're pretty. And that's not okay. It was a message. It was repeated over and over again. There's a love triangle in this book. The love triangle is pitting 2 brothers against one another, which I don't appreciate. There's other conflicts going on within their family and things that are breaking their family apart, that you don't need a girl coming between 2 brothers when the brothers should be there to support one another through all of this trauma in their family. And I'm not going to be continuing with the series. I know that at the end of this, a lot of the girls said that they were going to continue to book 2 because there was like a cliffhanger. I'm going to let them do that and then read their reviews because I'm not interested in continuing with this series. I will let you know ahead of time because I'm flipping through the pages and discussing different plot points and our thoughts on them. This will be spoilery. Again, this is an almost 10-year-old book, so if you haven't read it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, then you can leave the video here or you can mute it and just kind of, I guess, see what the book looks like as I flip through it. That's it for this particular part of the video. I'm going to pan over to the flip through and I'll see you guys at the end. Alright guys, I'm going to do what I can to try to see into this little viewfinder and show you the book. So this is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han, and we're going to flip through it. Well, first up we have the signature page, and this was read by Nicole, Victoria, Jackie, and Juana. So Nicole will be in purple, Victoria in green, Jackie in blue, Juana in red, and I will probably refer back to this page a whole bunch because I'm going to forget who's what color. And we have our first little quote that's underlined over here. It says, "She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses and her boyfriend too," with hearts, because there's a ton of musical references in this book, and that one was Tom Petty's Free Fallin'. And then we have, she wants to know what the boys look like at Christmas during the winter, and they said, "Nope, I'd rather have summer." And Jackie and Victoria agree. Jackie also said, "Really?" over here, because she tells the boys to get her bags stat. And then said that the guy looked like a 1970s tennis player. A lot of really obscure, like, older references, so. And then Joanna down here says, "Belly button's all growed up." They call her Belly Button, apparently. That's her nickname. And then over here we have a little heart by Jackie and some brackets by Victoria. "Everything about my room was old and faded, but I love that about it. It felt like there might be secrets in the walls in the 4-poster bed, especially in that music box." Over here, we've got a gasp from me. "I folded the cover of my book over." Not cool, book respect. I was orange, by the way. I put myself orange. In this particular part, the main character, who is Belly, or Isabel, helps her crush get a girlfriend. And I said, what a mature thing for a 12-year-old to do who has a crush on him. It was really sweet. She kind of like helped them hook up, which I thought was like pretty mature for a 12-year-old. Wish I had a summer house to have those summer memories in. Jackie, I would say I agree, but I'm more of a mountain girl. I really hope this is also in focus because I can't tell. Got Victoria saying, "There was this weird stillness between all of us all of a sudden. He still held my foot and was trying to stay afloat. For a second, I wished Jeremiah and Stephen were still there. I didn't know why." The boy's mom says, "You've always been lovely, but oh honey, look at you. You're so pretty, so pretty. You're going to have an amazing summer. It'll be a summer you'll never forget." Said, "Because she's pretty? What the fuck?" I agree, Nicole. Down here, it said, the thing is, Susanna was right. It was summer. It was a summer I'd never forget. It was a summer everything began. It was a summer I turned pretty because for the first time I felt it. Pretty, I mean. Every summer up to this one I believed to be different. Life would be different. And that summer it finally was. I was. Pretty is life-changing. Eye roll. It's a little ridiculous. That's at page 21. That's the message we're getting. And it continues throughout the entire book. And then here it says, most people don't like being different. I remember feeling that way with my brother and his friends. It said, this one is about going in and out of the ocean and letting the salt water dry up on you. And Jackie agreed that that's a great feeling in the summer. It sounded like we had our whole lives in front of us. It looks different for everybody. There's a lot of like grieving and loss and sickness in this book. He had Russian dressing on his beard, newly grown out for the most of the lunch. They're just laughing. Over here, Juana said, sounds like me with my kids. My father was always buying me books. He kept hoping I'd turn out smart like him, somebody who loved words, loved to read. Can still learn from fiction, it says. Not in the way of being like a scholar. I liked novels, not nonfiction. Divorce is a bitch. Cool. Winston Churchill has a quote up here, or information up here, because even when he hated her, he admired her. Daughter never asked to see her mom's pictures, and the mom never offered to show them. Sounds like she resents her for the divorce, that her parents are divorced. Sounds like she's not really digging her mom. They're talking about Flowers in the Attic, and I said, yes, I loved that book when I was a kid. Susanna said my mother made her feel normal. My mother was good at that, making people feel normal, safe, like as long as she was there, nothing truly bad could happen, which is kind of contradictory to the rest of the storyline because her mom and her don't get along that well. The two moms come down high. She's got cancer. This is a flashback and they're high. Susanna is pretty amazing. Over here, Victoria is saying she's loving Susanna, and I agree. We've got some sadness here. Like he was worried she would vanish into thin air while he had his back turned. The son's watching his mom because she's sick. Down here, I was a real girl now. Didn't know you had to have boobs to be a real girl. WTF. Weird wording. Wow, what an awesome message for young girls. Not a big fan of Taylor. Taylor's a friend of Belly's that comes down for the summer. And their friendship. Lots of jealousy and competition. Not a very solid friendship. I said definitely not a healthy friendship model, and I don't like the setup of romantically competing two brothers against one another for Belly. Up here, forever kind of friendship that will last your whole life through no matter what. The best kind of friendship. Now I felt like I was her clueless mom who didn't know how to dress right. Things were either too long in the crotch or too tight in the waist. Victoria said, story of my life. Then there's like this whole conversation about like it being a free country and freedom. I don't know. We got the Encyclopedia Britannica reference over here. And then we got Black Beauty, which Jackie said is a good book. Eyes so clear he could see right into my soul. It says, and okay, maybe I did pout a lot, but it was the only way I could ever get my way. Ugh. And I agree. That is a disgusting message. Oh, I pout a lot, but it's the only way I can get my way. It's ridiculous. And then Susanna's not been feeling well. She's been spending a lot of time in her room, and I think we're all very much aware at this point that her cancer has returned, although it's not actually addressed until way later in the book, which makes the reader feel like the author thinks you're an idiot. So I hope it's not what I think it is, and oh noes. Nicole and Victoria picked up on that too there. Belly, you look fresh as a daisy. I love you in white with your tan. It sets you off like a picture frame. Susanna is just complimenting her before she heads out on a date, which is very sweet. And then this one says, I took a long sip of my Coke and burped. Excuse me. And they said, seriously awkward. I love Jeremiah. He's adorable. Jeremiah is absolutely phenomenal and always tries to break the tension and help out Belly, and it's just really, really sweet. It was like Conrad and Jeremiah had deemed him unworthy, and so I had too. It was funny how I'd felt so close to him just a few minutes ago. She immediately, like, rejects her date, who she likes, just because these two boys make fun of him. And I was like, that's not okay. It's so gross. When somebody tells me to smile, I can't help it. I always do. And I said, ew. Your hair is like a little kid's, Conrad said softly, his voice making me shiver. It was like the sound of water when it pulls off the sand. The way that he finds her so young, and yet you know there's sexual tension there, is really gross to me. Like, he continues to point out her young age and how young she is and how young she looks, but there's this sexual tension there, which made it really creepy. Juana said, moments when lost can't be found again, they're just gone. Suzanne is over here, and the father can't come down for the summer, and they're getting a divorce. Mom of the boys, whose house they're at, and the parents are getting a divorce. And then over here, we've got the use of the word that I refuse to acknowledge in books. I said that's not okay. And then they're talking about hurting and grieving in different ways. I wish she would open up to her mother. They're talking about her dating and making out with boys. And she said, I'm kidding. You know I'm open to you exploring yourself, which is like the most awkward thing to say. And then over here, we've got truth or dare. I'm not playing. Don't be so gay. Really? And then Jeremiah said, you shouldn't use the word gay like that. I didn't mean it, anything by it, Jeremy. I just meant he's being lame. And he said, well, gay doesn't mean lame, Taylor, now does it? And Victoria said yes, because the initial reaction is like not okay. So this is what I'm talking about. They used it derogatorily and then corrected it, but maybe back then this was a conversation that needed having, but it just makes me uncomfortable. Taylor's over here really jealous of her relationship with the boys. Over here, they're playing truth or dare and talking about kissing, and she goes, hey, I'm a person. You can't just kiss me without my permission. So I said, good for her. And then over here, Jeremiah's dared to kiss somebody, and Taylor thinks it's going to be her, but he leans over and kisses and asked over to me and said, ready. And before I could answer, he kissed me right on the lips. I tried to push him off, but he kept on kissing me. I pushed him off again, and he leaned back onto the couch, casual as can be. And I said, oh, gross. But over here, she's saying, you can't kiss me without my permission. And over here, he's asking her for permission. She's not giving it. She's pushing him away, and he keeps kissing her and then sits back like nothing had ever happened. And that was her first kiss. This is not an okay situation for me at all. And it's very romanticized. And then over here you find that her friend is not kissing Jeremiah or Conrad. She's kissing her brother, Steven. Damn, I knew it. So she wants to be her friend, who the boys all like, but it comes off sounding like she wants to make out with her brother, which is really weird. Fighting his feelings. 1 minute he was broody and withdrawn, and the next he was laughing and twirling me around the room. Cam made an avocado and sprout sandwich. Joanna said that sounds good. She might have to try it. Then we have him leaving her on the beach for like over an hour to go play video games with the boys. Girls agreed that would not be cool. I wondered if this was the way old crushes died, with a whimper, slowly, and then just like that, gone. Victoria said sometimes. Belly's trying to get the boy she's dating, Cam, to go skinny dipping, and he's backing out. And again, she says she's wondering if he's gay. Just because somebody's not comfortable getting naked with you in public is not necessarily a signifier that they're gay. Nobody can make you feel like anything, Belly, not without your permission. Eleanor Roosevelt said that. Then they're commenting on the relationship between Belly's mom and the boy's mom. It is a really, really sweet friendship. Over here, I said, clearly she's sick again, and all of this is hinting, without saying it, makes me feel like the author thinks we're stupid. Imperfections that make things beautiful. She makes my head hurt. So over here, Cam says, can I kiss you? It's the boy that Belly is seeing this summer. She said, I wish he hadn't asked. I wish he'd just done it. Asking made everything feel awkward and put me in a position where I had to say yes. I wanted to roll my eyes at him, but instead I said, okay, but next time please don't ask. Asking someone if they want to kiss you is weird. You're supposed to just do it. No, he's not. You just said earlier that you should be getting permission, then somebody kissed you without your permission, and now you're saying don't ask for permission. Consent is okay. She makes my head hurt. This is not okay. This is not a message you send in YA contemporaries. Yes, they should be asking for consent. No, it's not weird if somebody asks. I just get so mad. Over here, we've got Conrad invited Nicole, which is this girl that he was like kind of seeing that nobody liked. She was really miserable. And Nicole said, I always share my name with the bad ones. And then over here, we've got Jeremiah, who finally admits that he really loves her, that he loves Belly, and he wants to be with her, and that Conrad's not the right person for her, and he won't ever feel for her the same way that Jeremiah will. And she just says, I'm sorry, please don't be mad at me. I couldn't take it if you were mad at me, but I just don't feel that way about you. I love Conrad. We're saying, poor Jeremiah. I'm not mad at you. I'm just, why does it always have to be Conrad? So then she decides to take a page out of Jeremiah's book and go up to Conrad and say, I've loved you since I was 10 years old. Conrad does not respond favorably. Well, you shouldn't. I'm not the one. Sorry. Get your head out of your ass, Belly. The world doesn't revolve around you. Because she said, admit it. You were mad when I started hanging out with Cam. You wanted me to still be your little admirer. And then there's a whole bunch of like cheering because somebody finally called her out. Over here it says, Belly, Susanna's sick again. It says, I knew it. I knew it. Makes so much more sense. Belly is hugging Susanna and saying, promise me you'll never leave. And she said, I won't. Sitting with her, watching her butter her muffin, it felt like she'd be there forever. Conrad and Belly are kissing. I'm kissing Conrad Fisher, and he's kissing me back. It started to come down harder, and I wanted to get up and go back into the house, but I couldn't tell Conrad didn't. So I sat there with him, holding his hand and saying nothing. Everything else felt really far away. It was just us. A piece of my heart, the piece where summer lived, would always be Conrad's. Which I thought was a cute little quote. She doesn't call back the boy that she was dating because she realized that now she's kissed Conrad. She doesn't want to be with Cam, and it's just rude that she was not manning up and talking to the boy and saying, hey, it's not going to work. Nicole said, just when I thought she was growing up, she had to be really immature. I never had any hope. Victoria said, Conrad reached over and pushed my bangs out of my eyes. It was a tiny gesture. And then we've got to where, now I need to start the next one. Well, I guess it's off to book 2. Looks like I'll be buying book 2. Everybody kind of got hooked over here. I'm going to read their words over on the side. Everybody kind of put their rating and what they thought about the book. So first up, Nicole said, I almost gave this 2 stars, but it got better towards the end. I just really didn't like how selfish and childish Belly was. Plus the chapters would jump around to the past and then not tell you when we were back in the present. They ended too abruptly. I'm glad it ended the way it did to add a little more story other than superficial talk about looks. I do want to pick up the next book and find out what happens. Victoria said 3 stars. Also, Nicole said 3 stars. So I almost gave it 2 stars, but Susanna made it 3. Belly was so obnoxious, was an obnoxious brat. I really disliked her and Taylor's friendship. I'm hoping in the next book she will grow up. Overall, it was a fast read, but her immaturity really annoyed me. Definitely getting book 2. Joanna said 3.5 stars. Okay, so this book was kind of frustrating. I almost gave up with all the complaining and childish attitude from Belly. She was so whiny, and yes, I know she's young, but come on. I don't think regular 16-year-old girls are this bratty. The last quarter of the book made up for it and gave more to it. I need book 2 now. And then Jackie over here said, well, the premise of being pretty and the self-centeredness annoyed me, as did the constant time period switching. I liked it, but nothing special about it. 3 stars average. Their favorite quotes. Nicole's favorite quote was, nobody can make you feel anything, Belly, not without your permission. Eleanor Roosevelt said that. Then we have Joanna said, moments when lost can't be found again, they're just gone. Jackie said, instead it felt like we had our whole lives in front of us. Victoria said, it feels like nothing else exists outside of that word, this moment, there's just us. So that was everybody's thoughts on The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I hope you guys have enjoyed this flip through. Now back to my outro. Alright guys, that was the flip through of The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I am so excited that everybody that was involved in this wanted to be added back into the end of the list and continue with the traveling book because they had so much fun. Can't wait to read with you guys again. For now, that's it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to getting the next traveling book flip through. I know I'm really looking forward to getting a whole bunch more in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye guys.